I'm Shoot the Artist,
I'm No Face Rel.
And it's Nazarene, the Sea Moss Queen.
and this is the Nami Show. You know, it's been a little minute since we saw y'all, but we got some newer and better things going on. I don't know if you noticed some of the little changes with us, but we always growing and developing, getting out our comfort zone. So before we get into things, how was you guys' week?
I'm pretty good, man. I see you guys glowing here, man.
You know?
Skin is glowing. I see it.
Shine
Yes,
bright like a
sir.
diamond.
It's been a week. The rain has been put a damper on a lot of stuff.
You can't stop the rain, you know.
Really, it ain't cut nobody water off. But,
We got some interesting things going on. You guys remember Community Insight?
Yeah.
Well, now it's world views, you know, because
gosh.
it's not just our community that directly affect us. It's things that go on in other countries and other communities that can have direct effects on us as well. So it's
Absolutely.
good for us to understand what's going on in the world so we can trace the whatever back to home to see how we have to deal with that, you know? And getting into the world views, we have our favorite Asian country, China. China, you know, and guess what China is getting ready to do?
What they doing now, shoot?
Well, they're getting ready to do what Russia did to Ukraine. But instead of it being Ukraine, they're doing it to Taiwan.
Not little
Oh.
Taiwan.
Little Taiwan.
What did Taiwan do to you, Chai Chai?
Well, going into history, just like the Ukraine and Russia, Taiwan is a part of China, but it's not a part of China. So you could say like Washington D.C. is technically its own district within the country, but it's separate.
So it's like Taiwan is China's Puerto Rico.
Yeah, you can say that. They have their own independence and stuff like that, but the unique part about it is that Taiwan is backed by the U.S., you know? So right now, Taiwan has democracy versus China is still in their communism type of thing, but they have like a communism mixed with capitalism. Right. So going a little north of Taiwan, we have Hong Kong. Now, the British ruled Hong Kong for 100 years. You feel me? After that 100-year contract was up, when China was supposed to get Hong Kong back, they were supposed to leave their independence. It was supposed to be one country, two systems. And that other system also extended to Taiwan. But now, after China and Russia came together, you know, Putin, Xi Jinping, after they saw what Russia did to Ukraine, China was like, well, we taking back Taiwan. U.S., what you going to do? You already using so much billions of dollars for the Ukraine. How much more resources you willing to expel to defend Taiwan?
Right.
Both of these countries, Russia and China, have large militaries. But if you look at Taiwan, Taiwan has one of the bigger militaries as well. They have 1 million people on standby ready. They only got 20 million people of population. So,
Oh, wow.
A couple bystanders doing a couple combat classes for about a month or two to get some experience just in case something does happen. So definitely, you know, I definitely don't want to see things go that way where, you know, millions of people could lose their lives, you know, just based off of power. So
yeah, you know, and if we lose Taiwan, that's a critical economic base for the United States in the Southeast Asia Sea right now, because as you look at it, China is making islands just from out of the water. They're just going down, taking water, matter, and just just making these man-made islands to increase their land within the region to take over more. So right now, the U.S. main stronghold is Taiwan. I mean, they might have a base on Japan, they back in South Korea and stuff, but those is more like on the land. Now in the water, you know. Also, if you also do your research, Taiwan is one of the biggest countries that's heavy on the cryptocurrency NFT movement right now, you know? So with us losing that, that's also losing access to the crypto and NFT sector that we have connected to right now. So right now, you know, Taiwan is a strategic point. Let's pray for them. Let's hope that they're able to defend themselves.
Absolutely.
Because I'm not going over there.
now, looking at one of the world views I have, and of course it's still here in New York, but down in Brooklyn. So they recently, the Brooklyn Public Library, they uncovered Jay-Z's lyrics on the wall of one of their biggest libraries on, I believe, Eastern Parkway, and it has his lyrics on the entire building. And they had an event held for it on Wednesday to display all the different lyrics. And I think that's pretty cool. A place that you come from, they really recognize the work that you've done and the longevity, and gave him a spot that will be there for extant time for
Forever.
forever. So
That's a fact.
that's
dope.
cool.
So you said that they just found the wall, or they made it?
Well, it was a public library, and it's like one of the, if you know where like the Brooklyn Zoo and stuff is at,
Okay.
it's like one of those, like it's like a big library. So it's like it has like the whole, like a couple of his lyrics is on the wall and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, did he write them, or like did like a fan like just inscribe them on the wall?
I'm not sure.
That's the question.
I'm not sure exactly who wrote them, but it was basically somebody put that together, was able to make that happen. They had an event for it and stuff, and
Nah, that's fire,
That sounds
because
dope. I like that.
that's potential to make that day an official holiday,
Yeah,
Jay-Z Day,
for real.
where everyone come around from the world and look at his lyrics from, I'm guessing, like an older song, right?
Yeah.
Like from 90s to early 2000s.
Yeah.
whatever. So that's amazing. I feel like all musical artists aspire to be, what's the word? Celebrated like that.
yeah.
So yeah, shout out to that library. And for this last one, it ties in deeply directly with us as a country, because if y'all have been paying attention to recent developments, our president's son, Hunter Biden, was caught doing 170 on a dash, miles per hour, while high on cocaine, so
Allegedly.
allegedly, let's say that.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, he was caught doing that, but he has prior incidences with him and this particular substance. Well, getting deeper into the matter, we have the Biden administration suspending satellite monitoring
Monitoring. There you go.
in Colombia of their cocoa crops, because amid a surge in cocaine right now. So basically, before Biden administration came in, since the 60s, we've had satellites that's tracking the cocoa production of these different South American countries, because that's where a majority of the production is coming from. So with the Biden administration suspending the satellite monitoring, and it so happens that it's a surge in cocaine right now, what's the connection there? And then it's like other officials saying that, yeah, he suspended it, but he didn't give a time limit on when this particular service is supposed to resume. And then they also asked him, like, okay, if you cutting off tracking in Colombia, what about Bolivia and Peru? They also are part of this production of this, but then they have opposition from the Colombian president, which is saying, like, y'all want to focus on the growth of this. Let's actually catch the high moving smugglers that's moving the finished product, because at the end of the day, it's just a cocoa plant. You can make medicine with it. You have different uses for this raw material versus this end material, which is this illegal substance.
True.
Why aren't you going after the cartels and drug dealers? You want to go after the farmers and watch them. So they're not watching them no more. We about to see a flood of cocaine hit America again, like it was when Scarface era.
Y'all weren't ready to see it floating in the ocean now. Like, y'all finna see it popping up
Everywhere.
I feel like it's just gonna be like after.
getting drone dropped in
Like when
Arizona.
Biden gets out of the office, I feel like a few years down the line, it's gonna be like a Netflix special of the Biden family, and
It definitely is.
it's gonna uncover a lot of
It's
stuff
definitely
like
giving
this,
that
that
vibe.
things that are in the shadows right now that people
Yeah.
are just like having dialogue about, like, this might be going on, but nobody really knows. But I feel like it's gonna come out eventually where it's gonna be a little bit more details of what the Bidens are really up to.
Yeah, facts. And like you just said, like, it's gonna be a long history. Like, most people don't know that Biden was beefing with Putin since the 70s.
Yeah.
They've been
Been beefing. So now you see when Putin went and attacked Ukraine, it's more of a personal thing now.
Yeah.
You talking about business?
Nah.
Most people know that Ukraine is filled with X amount of Nazis. in that country. You feel me? So why would an American democracy country go defend a country like that, other than it being personal, political, and like business, you know? But they send billions of our taxpayer dollars for what? Because Biden has an agenda that he wants to prove. No, I'm gonna beat Putin once and for all. Putin been in office for the last 50 years.
You didn't beat him.
Not 50, but last 30 years.
Been in office longer than you've been in office.
Yeah, since Clinton.
So what are you talking? You lost.
Like, come on now.
And we see him like, you know,
Planning this.
always trying to like find his footing. Like we seen when even when Obama was in office and he was the vice president, he tried to, you know, take a little hold on situations when they would go over to like Russia, and he would be like, you know what, Obama, I'm gonna sit this one out. I'm gonna take a control of this because due to like my experience working with, you know, Russians and our different things back in the 70s, I should talk this one with him instead of you, you know.
Wow.
And we
That's a
seen that.
fact.
So
It runs deep, y'all. Do y'all research, because everything is connected. Things don't just happen spontaneously, you know?
So jumping into the topics here.
Oh, no. Right now, we about to hop into necessary notes.
Okay.
As you know,
You
it's
feel me?
necessary.
You know that.
All right, we're gonna touch on some brief topics. I don't know if y'all heard, but it's necessary. I know this stuff. So everyone's favorite clothing conglomerate, Shein, called a RICO charge.
Oh, Rico.
A RICO charge.
Whoa.
Okay.
Close.
So everyone is probably used to hearing RICO with like racketeering charges or, you know, drug trafficking. But in the recent years, there was an amendment added to the RICO charge stipulations, and it put copyright under a RICO.
What?
Yeah, so it put 17 USC 506 and 18 USC 2319 under the RICO Act. So if you violate those USC codes, which you should all look into those, they're very important, you can get a RICO charge. So because Shein has been in several lawsuits with them stealing people's ideas and people noticing, it has flared up the federal government, and they're under investigation right now.
Yeah, I look at Shein as like one of those companies like they kind of like take after like the Forever 21, and it's another online site that I feel like they try to like take after as well. I once in a while I probably went online and looked at their stuff, and it's just real similar.
Yeah.
But it just seems like cheaper.
Yeah, so what they do is they use their artificial intelligence and their algorithm systems to learn what's trending and what's popular, and they target people that way. And yeah, that's also a violation as well, because in connection with that happening, ChatGPT is also under investigation with the FTC for violating consumer rights. So apparently through consumer use, the AI is putting out false information on the user. So while you may tell it one thing, it's taking what you're saying and saying a whole another thing about the user. And that's becoming an issue. And so now they're being watched by the FTC. Interesting. Did y'all know these things?
That is interesting.
Very interesting.
My question before you continue, is Shein an American company or is it an Asian company?
You know it's by our favorite Asian buddies.
Oh yeah, I was about to say, because they produce their stuff quite fast and cheaply, and everything is cheap.
Yeah.
So I can imagine they getting hit for lawsuits. They be like, oh, how much to make that? Oh yeah, let's make 10 of these.
And so back to Shein, it's funny because a lot of people, since the Shein craze has died down so much, I know we've all heard about the new one, Temu.
Oh no, Temu's valid.
It's starting all over again.
How?
Because Temu is the close cousin to Shein. It's doing the same exact thing and all over again.
I mean, it's only a problem here in the U.S. because in China, there's no such thing as intellectual property. It's just innovation. Okay, you make a tank top, I'm gonna make a tank top with a pocket. No Face gonna make a tank top with a pocket and a place you could charge your phone. You come
I'm
on
gonna
now.
make a tank top with removable sleeves and a pocket charger phone. And
Exactly. That's all that is. So with them doing it, that's just practices that China been practicing forever. That's what made them be able to get to where they at. But not over here, not in America.
Yeah, so, and then another necessary note, because we all, well, everybody but me and a small group of people, y'all all watch television. I'm pretty sure y'all didn't know that Hollywood is on strike right now.
Yeah.
And that's why your TV shows is really, really giving bare minimum.
Facts.
Couple
They're not
reruns.
paying these writers, they're not paying these actors, and they're not working. So that's why the cuts is looking kind of choppy. That's why the acting is giving real Lifetime.
Movie network vibes. Tubi.
Nah, Tubi is eating.
Nah, Tubi right. Tubi good.
Tubi is eating because
They play right into that.
national networks is not paying people, and so this is going to be a shift in the power of the writers, because the up and coming writers, the ones that are really putting that work in and really trying to get noticed not to get paid because they ain't paying the writers, but they're going to get recognized.
Yeah.
And now you're gonna have your local videographers and your local directors be
Facts.
on the TV now. So
Exactly. And a point I want to add to that is like, as far as the local people, regular content creators have a chance now to capture the audiences of the people that these major agencies and studios and online platforms is missing out on.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because if you don't have the proper content people want to watch, why would people pay? Versus I could go on social media, make 10, 15 valid pieces of content, or make our own show and get 1 million views, get monetized on YouTube. YouTube pay us a percentage, which would be better versus if we went to that network and they want to break and split everything down versus YouTube or a TikTok or something. Pay you for exactly what you need.
absolutely, and the time is now because the strike started I think yesterday.
Yeah,
At
facts.
at
It's
midnight.
now. Today.
The time is now.
'Cause
So put your content out.
It was actually funny that it started at midnight and they had the movie Oppenheimer. And,
Yeah.
and that was just released, and they had to somehow get there. You know, like when they go onto the red carpet
Yeah.
to release it, they had to squeeze that in.
I did read about
They had
that.
to squeeze that in just so they wouldn't fall into the line of the strike situation.
Oh,
Because
shoot.
as soon as it hit midnight,
They
It's
outside.
over.
these actors can't promote any upcoming projects, any upcoming movies. They can't do anything. So everything's on a hold.
And
Hollywood
getting
shut
deeper
down.
into that, it's also the national board that's called the SAG Afra Guild. You feel me? And they approved the labor strike. And the total amount of people that's involved with the actors, at least 160K. And that's from movie, TV, actors, all of that, So it's going to get crazy.
Yeah.
And on top of that, with all these actors leaving, these studios still have their money. There's as the actors that's not getting paid. So now what happens when these studios be like, okay, we don't need actors. We're using AI.
Boom.
We're using AI.
And let's tap into that. So this new app out, Remini, that everyone's been putting their face on, trying to be somebody
Ramini or something. I
they're
hate
never
that.
gonna be in this life. Don't be surprised if when the new show come out and you in that show.
Come on now.
Like, that guy looks pretty familiar.
It's you.
Come on now.
You remember that app you was playing with, thinking it was cute, and them babies that was on Facebook? Okay,
Bruh.
I keep playing.
Yeah, because it's a lot of we tend to download these apps and forget to read the privacy laws and the
Yeah.
policy that
Just
comes
like,
with
yes,
it.
yes,
Just
yes,
sign
yes, yes.
everything
Yeah,
away.
I agree. Yeah, I
It
know.
is
Take my face and
necessary
use
that
it for
you
whatever.
Pay attention to what you signing off on, because I guarantee you, in about a year, a couple months probably, these new shows are gonna have you in it.
Yeah, facts.
So those are necessary notes.
Yes, necessary, man.
Because it's necessary.
And to dive into the hottest, some of the hottest stuff on the streets, continuing with the AI situation, we got our favorite electrical car company founder, Elon Musk.
Elon.
He's dropping a new AI company called XAI. You feel me? And basically the purpose of this new AI company is to understand reality.
What?
Yeah, what is reality? From like what exactly does he want it to
Is it
understand?
from his standpoint?
Yeah,
from
like
his viewpoint. Whose reality we trying to understand or understand? Because
The consumers, I guess. I
because
mean,
the average person thinks that what they're living is reality. So what now? What are you talking about, Elon?
so yeah, I think it's just set up so he can have like a brain for his Tesla bots that he's trying to make. Also, the first product from this company will be called Truth GPT. And basically, he's trying to make it to where whatever you ask it, the AI has to tell you the truth about it. Just like how he's trying to make Twitter a place where people can say anything is free speech. So he's trying to remove these extra limiting factors. But to get on a deeper note, earlier this year, he was one of the signatory people on a piece of legislation which stated they wanted to slow down the advancement or training of super powerful AIs. You feel me? So he helped sign that law to help stop people from training it. But then he
You wanna
comes out
create it.
and drops his own. But maybe it doesn't classify as one of these super powerful AI. Or maybe the contract was just for 6 months. Because
Right.
as soon as ChatGPT came out, the world went crazy.
Yeah.
This year is still going crazy. So,
sure.
They still going crazy, but the FTC watching them because,
Oh,
like
yeah.
you just said, he's trying to curate the truth AI, but the AI is learning and it can do what it wants to do. So how can you control what the AI is gonna say? This is getting this sticky for me.
yeah. And then
For real.
before the next point, it's like when it comes to AI, a lot of these AIs need references from things. They just not pulling stuff out of air. They need something to look at, reference, and give you something. Just like with the artwork. They got to look at some artwork, put it together, and then give you something new out of all the references, you know? So with that being said, who's going to be the references?
We are the references. We've been the reference since these handheld devices came out. All this data that we use every day is stored somewhere,
Yeah.
and it's definitely being
That's
used.
the reality that they looking to go after. How we move, how we spend our money, how we.
Everything is tracked via these phones and just everyday activities. So that's the data. They have the data.
Yeah.
They've been gaining the data for over 20 years now.
I mean, I thought it was enough data just collecting our credit card and bank statements.
Nah, they
but
need
they
to-
want to know what we looking up on YouTube and Google.
How fast you breathing at night when you sleeping? They want to know everything.
Be like, I swear to my higher power that I never seen so many commercials for Zoom until this year talking about a podcast. And I never used Zoom, download Zoom, talk about Zoom on a regular. And it's just like, hey, Zoom for podcast, Zoom for pod, Zoom for pod.
Probably at one point you thought of Zoom and your phone picked up the frequency of Zoom.
No, because they're promoting for podcasts. So it's plenty of podcast commercials. They just keep pushing that.
God darn AI.
So also, we seen that the U.S. Secret Service, their investigation comes to an end. You know, of course they had the cocaine in the White House, and no, they have not able to identify a suspect. You know, no fingerprints.
It came out of nowhere.
Yeah, so it just appeared there for some reason, and they're ending their investigation with that. I just find it odd that, you know, this is one of the most sacred places, you know, in far as with
You can't
Security.
security.
on the grass. Let them attack.
Yeah,
you,
exactly,
but
like-
a bag of cocaine found its way past Secret Service.
I mean, a person is more unstable, unpredictable than that bag of cocaine. You leave that bag of cocaine on the table, it's gonna be there. It won't hurt nobody unless somebody bothers it first. A person could be irrational.
See, hear me. I just go thinking. My mind go elsewhere. So you were saying how like they lowered their security on the coca on the coca
Yeah,
fields.
yeah.
So now all of a sudden you got random samples of cocaine showing up in the White House.
Yeah, they had to test it out.
That's where I was going with it. Now we just bringing samples through the door. Okay.
I mean, I read an article saying that the cleanup crew is usually responsible for making sure none of that is around before and after whoever comes in, you know? And apparently they didn't do their job. They left us, you know? The White House is big. No, if I'm, and I don't know what they pay these people. Like, I hope it's a good wage,
They don't got no cameras in the
or
White
maybe
House?
they was high that day and forgot.
How good is how good is security cameras in the White House? Because
I've
you
never
be able
been
to
there.
see when that was dropped. Okay, when it was left.
I mean,
Y'all can see us right now recording the podcast.
but see that's where it takes certain people to ask certain questions. Like, okay, there's no video footage, and if there was, just they deleted it. It's gone. What are you talking about? There's probably a person in the camera room whose job is to
backed up
delete.
to the cloud. Don't do me.
What you mean? It's a
the
person
White
whose
House.
job who is to delete discriminatory content on this cameras. Even if you delete, then it's like on your iPhone, you delete something. They be like, do you want to delete from your phone, from the cloud, or both?
You know what I think it was? They found out who it was, and they couldn't say anything because it would destroy.
It was
country.
Hunter. It was Hunter. It was Hunter. He did that. Perfect.
It could be.
He
But then another thing came out saying a lot of high-ranking officials participate and do this drug on a regular. So we don't know what goes on in the White House. You know, they be inviting people over. Pusha T came over one time. So many different things. You know,
Interesting.
it gets crazy. And speaking of our government, we got this that it hits deep to everybody. You know, especially with the current what's the word? Controls, blockages. So the FDA just approved the first over-the-counter birth control pill. And get this, it has no age restrictions.
Whoa.
No age restrictions.
Whoa. What?
No age restrictions.
You keep saying it, and the more every time you say it, just does not. I don't. What?
It's no age restrictions. That's what make it amazing. You know why? Because it's plenty of little girls that's in situations that end up pregnant from somebody abusing them. And what if they able to stop this pregnancy before it comes to term? You know how many women that's probably out there dealing with that, or they raising a kid from their abuser because they wasn't able to get something, especially now with them passing the laws. Some states you can't get an abortion. You going to jail.
You can't even.
So if I could get this over the counter birth control, yeah.
Birth control has always been available to people.
I'm not a woman. I don't know.
I just feel like this is a setup. I'm gonna put this in my notes to go look
A
at.
setup?
Yeah.
How?
I don't know. Something don't sound right about that.
They want.
I'm putting that in the box with the baby boxes that be having around the country for the babies to go in to keep them safe. I'm putting that in that same box with that stuff. It don't sound right. I gotta look into it.
Who mean that? It's called Opil.
Pill.
Opil.
Opil.
And, you know, and it won't have an age limit. You know, they basically looking out for
It's
people.
over the counter, non-age restricted birth control pill.
Yes.
Okay.
To prevent
unwanted
births.
pregnancy
Yes.
in women or identifiable women of
Now you
all
know
ages.
with these pills they come with a bunch of side effects. You know, now what's gonna happen to say a 12 or 13-year-old girl gets pregnant from abuse and she takes this, like, what are going to be the side effects for the rest of her life? After, because she's not even like she's going through so much
Hormonal.
changes.
Yeah.
That
Right?
if she is pregnant, you might as well let it go the natural way, and possibly, even though it's wrong, but like far as with the pill, now this pill could destroy. She may not be able to get pregnant for the rest of her life, or
She may adversely react to whatever the medication's in the pill.
I mean,
I have not heard about this pill,
Yeah.
nor any studies on this. So y'all just releasing something on a whim?
I mean, the FDA approved it.
Who is the FDA?
The Federal Drug
No,
Administration.
not like that. Who is the FDA to approve anything to go inside another person's
Then
body?
another point I add to it is that then it almost encourages teenagers to have unprotected sex now. Like, okay,
Yeah.
we're 14, 15,
Let's go get an Opil.
yeah, we're
Basically, they're popping old pills like crazy.
gonna get an O pill. It's like Vicks, since I could buy it. So all right, cool.
Like, oh, you a little pregnant? Take an Opil.
Not
On your
even-
prescription?
That she was a little pregnant. But now this makes it even worse. Oh, I had a horrible idea. It's disgusting. So now that you can buy this pill over the counter at any age, any perverted person can just go into the store and purchase this pill and take this product to any underage individual. Like, you know what? It's okay. I got this. Let's just do it. And it's like, what?
You feel me? A lot of doors
Yeah.
are going to be opened, and they're not all good. You know, like what Nazarene said. That's horrible. That's Epstein shit.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Now he got a closet full of oat pills ready to go for whomever.
The oat pill factory. Like, and then it's like when it gets to these drugs, we gotta look at what company manufactured this.
If it's Pfizer, just don't. Make it.
Pfizer, you gotta chill, Pfizer. That's crazy, you know.
So we seen recently that a lot of like different concerts, people have been throwing stuff up onto the stage, and it's been hitting a lot of different artists, whether it's pop, hip hop, and we started to see this going on all around the world, and we seeing some artists stop the show immediately, like, hey, I'm done, this is it, and you seeing some more point people out in the crowd and saying, hey, I'm gonna get you after the show. Like, I seen you, like, we seen like Lotto do that recently, as far as she seen somebody personally that threw a bottle, and I just want to know, like, what's the proper protocol for a situation like that?
I mean, they're gonna have to do like they did to the bus drivers and the fast food during COVID and put a whole shield
in front of the stage.
Yeah, like some thick glass or something.
I don't understand what I mean, this is how I know that the air in food is toxic, because why would you pay to go see someone that you possibly may like to go launch a water bottle or whatever object at them on stage?
Because they don't view the person as a person no more. They just like an idol or an object of God. You can't feel pain.
That's mental illness.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what our country is trying to run off of, mental illness.
Like, seriously, at this point, because I've heard a lot of that going on. What is wrong with people?
I don't know. Maybe because, I don't know. A lot of times I watch like shows and cartoons, and it's a lot of that inside our media. Like, someone's performing, they just start throwing shit on the stage. Yeah, like, and it's not like, it's a difference between like it's a bull and they throwing tomatoes first. It's like, just
throwing like D batteries and
they crazy.
Pair of Jordans.
They're crazy.
Bras and stuff.
You throwing
I mean, clothes is okay, cool. You know,
you're throwing objects like
throw your shirt or something like.
You're throwing. You went and purchased things to throw on stage. You're different.
Nah, but then it's like maybe it might be a plot. They putting these people in to cause disarray. You're like, yeah, go. There's 100 of y'all. Go to this concert and just start throwing stuff.
Maybe they need more security in the field.
In the field, they pack like sardines.
No, I'm talking about like in the crowd. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
They have the security at the front of the stage to protect the artist, but they need to have actual like incognito security inside,
like undercover
type. To watch, make sure it's safe environment.
Yeah, because
y'all know how like in the city with the like with the trains where it'd be like, if you see something,
say something. Yeah,
I feel like that should be like one of the things on your ticket. If you're a fan and you're going to go see somebody, and you like, if you see somebody launching something at a artist or something onto the stage, say something.
Or take a picture or video. Like, look, they about to they threw it.
Because you obviously pay your hard
because that's
money.
Assault. That's assault. You can be charged with assault, number one, and that celebrity person is very much insured. Okay, so y'all need to stop doing that. Because if you get caught, Lord.
Yeah, I don't feel bad for you if you get caught. You know, somebody
wants to make an example out of you.
Somebody should pray for you for you making that not smart
commodity.
decision.
How would you feel if you out here just trying to conduct business and someone's throwing rocks at you?
The rock is going back. We playing whatever game it involves throwing something back and forth. That's how we playing hot rock. You feel me? Oh, you ain't catch the rock?
Dang.
You feel me? But yeah, listen, y'all. It's that time for that talk. That talk, y'all. The talk that everybody should be having on a weekly basis. Because that's what we spend the majority of our lives doing. Being part of the economy. Now let's talk about it. So today's economy talk is a special one. I'm talking about the struggles and opportunities for up and coming visual artists as myself, you know? So I'm just gonna be talking about the different things that's going on in right now, you know? So the first thing I want to talk about is the digital revolution, you know? In the last couple years, well, in the last decade, we should say, you know, since like 2010, it's been a giant evolution in digital art, you know, starting from the first MacBook, first PCs, Windows, and stuff like that. They've had stuff out for a while where people could really get in tune and get in depth into the editing and illustration of certain things. You know, look at DreamWorks, you know, from when they dropped Shrek to now. What's the newest? How to Train Your Dragon. You know, you seen the graphics on that? Oh my God, they just keep killing the game. So with that being said, that's more on like the broader scale. For like the regular artists, you know, you started coming out with the art tablets where people could really sit there and draw. They didn't have to go buy these expensive equipments and programs and stuff like that. Like I remember in high school, I was in a design class or whatever, and they was talking about, we had to get $50 from our parents to help pay for the software program that we was going to be using in the class or whatever, because it wasn't just a free program, but it's like you really sit there and design what it is, then you could help make it physical 3D, you know? They ain't have that back in the 90s, you know? People was really sitting here sketching out on how they was going to build the building, and them little computers, what they called, the first Macs, Macintosh. The graphics is horrible.
Had program before? Oh, okay.
You feel me? I remember being on the Windows, going straight to the little art program and just with the mouse going crazy, you know. So yeah. Also with the digital revolution, we got stuff like NFTs that's out now, which helps artists own their artwork in the metaverse, in the digital universe, you know, especially with the rise of AI, you know. That's the best way artists can combat against it. With the AI stealing all the stuff, how are you going to stay relevant? Whether you a visual artist, even for audio audience. You hear all these AI songs with these different artists.
Oh man,
I like, you feel me?
It's nauseating.
I clicked on one yesterday. It was
by accident.
It was Squidward singing like the sad song by the XX
Tentacion.
And I was just like, man, this has to stop.
It has to stop, you know. And then on top of that, we have the oversaturation of the art market, you know. So it's a lot of emerging artists nowadays, but because there's so many and there's so many trying to pursue the same style, you know, you have a lot of copycat artists. So you got like 100 people, 1,000 people trying to be a Picasso or trying to be a Basquiat, to the point where they trying to do exactly like them instead of developing their own style, you know. But with the emergence of social media and the internet, it makes it a little more easier for these individual artists to build an audience, you know, because now even if you're trying to be like a Basquiat or a Jason Pollock or whatever, you still have your own individual elements that people could see. Versus you go to a gallery, they about, oh no, you an imposter, you trying to copy, right, you know, or you trying to sell yours, but this is mine. Oh no, it looked like this person's or whatever, you stole it or something. So to avoid that, I would suggest that, you know, artists start experimenting more with your own style, develop your own style, to where when people see that, oh no, that gotta be Shoot the Artist, or that gotta be him. Like, no, you see the eye, oh no, you see the color combination, you don't have his colors touch like that, you know. That's one of my main things in my artworks. I try to separate the colors so they don't just be a blob of red here or this, that, and third. For the third one is economic insecurity, you know. So with the rise of all these technologies, a lot of these industry artists are losing their jobs at an alarming rate.
Yeah.
If you was working at a movie studio for the last 10 years and you was the main animator, now we have this AI that can automatically generate stuff based on what you doing. Why we gotta pay you as much? We just paying you to do the brief little edit. This is doing the majority work.
They taking the guy who's been there for 10, 15 years, the AI is taking what he did and doing it on their own. So not only is he taking his job, he's taking his idea, his whole style,
Exactly.
and doing that. So that's just
And then putting their own little artificial intelligence
Yeah.
zhuzh on it.
yeah.
Exactly. You know, and then with some of these bigger companies and stuff, they have agreements to where like they own 25 or 50% of the artist's likeness. So now with, like you said, the AI coming and stealing his work, you can't even profit or monetize. Like, that's mine. It's like, well, we own 25% of you, and this is the 25%.
That we own.
Yeah, you know, so
Boom.
you gotta deal with that, you know. But
Watch them contracts.
yeah, you gotta watch them, you know. And other ways you can diversify your income, bring more income. You know, you could start art classes. So once you develop your certain technique, you could start teaching it to other people who might be interested. You got your basic stuff like merchandise and prints, you know. But that's depending on your type of art. You feel me? And you gotta develop a trust and establishment with the people that like art for people to want to buy it from you. You know, also you could do commission work. I never did commission work before. I feel like I don't perform my best when it's up to someone else's expectations. I like to just create from my mind. I don't like limitations on that. Even if it might get paid from it, I know I won't be able to perform up to that person's will because my things be random. You know, I don't be like, okay, they want a fairy. I cannot draw a fairy to save my life.
But you don't have to draw if you get commissioned for art, the person should already know that
Yeah,
the
who
art
you
they
are.
want is gonna be have shoot the artist zhuzh on it.
Yeah,
So
facts.
if they want a fairy, it's gonna be a shoot the artist fairy. So it's gonna be an abstract fairy.
Exactly. You
It better
know?
be what you like, cause you asked me to do.
But some clients don't
my art?
understand that. You know? Yeah. Also, you could apply for some grants in certain residencies that take visual artists in. You know, you just give them percentage of your sales, whatever. And if you're lucky enough, you get a sponsorship. You know, trying to get a pistachio for sponsorship from Wonderful. You know,
You
make
gotta
some
have a bag
statues.
of pistachios on set every time.
Oh no, I'm just gonna make content with them. Facts. And then we got access to art markets, you know? So I feel like this is one of the harder things for newer artists is to get into the actual corporate of the art world, you know? So like all these galleries, you got Sotheby's in the city and stuff like that. You got to go through a whole intensive process. You need 5-10 references from other little galleries and other prominent people in the industry just for your artwork to be there for a week or a day, you know? So it gets really, once you go up in the art world, it's all really about who you know and who you could be connected to, you know? Just like, for example, when Jacini was here, she plugged me into some art auction that's happening later this year, you know? I'm already filling out the paperwork because I want to be a part of it. I want my art to potentially be brought for something, you know? But if I didn't know her, and then you suggested her, you know? So it's about who you know to get to where you gotta go,
Exactly.
you know? Or even when I was on Art on Lark last year, one of the committee people stopped by my table. They liked the community painting, and they took that painting and put it in the Lark Wine and Spirits liquor store across the street, and I've been there ever since, you know. So it's all about who you get to know and what's it called, your first appearance or first impression. Boom. It's all about your first impression. So most of the time you're respectful, you cool, and you got likable artwork, you could go far. But you gotta put yourself out there. It's a lot of in the closet artists. Oh, I just do this on the side. It's just my little hobby. Okay, cool. Keep it your hobby. Don't try to come out here and compete with artists like me who really putting in work. I'm trying to go get my artwork insured and all of that and put it up there. You feel me? So you can do that. If you really want to do the artwork, you got to put it out there, even if nobody like it. Sometimes I'll go
That part.
to a local park, just set up my artwork and just start painting. Nobody might say anything. Somebody might say they like it, but it's just for people to see it, get in their head. And then next is copyright infringement. We just talked about that, you know.
Totally.
If you want to fight copyright infringement, you know, make my strategies to that is making as much content as possible with my artworks, whether it's pictures, videos, NFTs. So I have a whole portfolio of saying that this is my original artwork down to the T. You know. Also, yeah, make sure that you have a distinct style, so people could automatically recognize yours. In case someone try to steal yours, they're like, "Oh nah, this is a shoot the artist feature." He put an arrow at the top left of each one. If you hit it with the blue light, you could see it or something like that.
Right.
And then it's the environmental impact that, unfortunately, us artists can help reduce the impact of waste in the community. Because, a lot of us buy art brushes, paint brushes. I've thrown away like 10 art brushes before. Like, I throw them away regularly instead of reduce, reuse, recycle. Now, what about the empty paint canisters? I could recycle those too.
Definitely.
I throw them in the trash. So I can imagine how many other people are doing this unconsciously. First, there's just so many economic, environmentally safe ways to do our art. Instead of getting the canvas and the wood, how about we just get the canvas out of and make it out of something that can grow faster, that could grow back, or stretch it over some bamboo, because bamboo grows fast. They're cutting down a whole oak tree or something, or even with the paints. Last night I was watching something with it's called like shellac or something.
Shellac?
Yeah, and basically it's basically a bug that they use. They crush it up, they make waxes out the bugs, this and some of your nail polishes and stuff like that. So you can make natural colors from bugs, berries, different things in nature, where you don't have to go mess with these chemicals that could leak out into the water or into the grass or something like that.
Absolutely.
So
Love that.
as artists, that's what we can focus on, and that in the process we can make beautiful nature sceneries for what we want to see in the world. And for the last one is mental health. This one is a big one for me because when I first got into artwork, I was depressed. I did it as a form of therapy, as to escape my depression, and it helped me escape. And I ended up falling in love in the process. So whenever you're feeling down or out, I suggest you grab some type of art materials and you draw it out. You might actually draw the problem, or after you done doing whatever you do, I suggest fill up every blank space on whatever you working on, just so you could get all what are you feeling out there. And after you do that a couple times, you start feeling better because you have a way to take that energy out of you and put it somewhere. It's like a diary.
Right.
So, so each canvas or sketch page in a sketchbook is like a diary of how you felt that day. And the more you go through, the more you have inspiration. They say a lot of artists, if you really want to get into your bag, you have to go through a level of darkness. You have to be depressed. You have to go through the bad feelings in life for you to actually have things to draw inspiration on,
Right.
Talk about Basquiat, right? He was 27.
Yeah.
He had a heroin addiction, but his best works probably came from when he was high as hell. I don't know. Or when he just came down from
Binging.
yeah, so you got a lot of things. Even Van Gogh. My son cut his ear off for a shorty to impress her. Be like, "Oh, no matter what, I'm always here with you. Here's a piece of me to remember me by." Cut his ear off. But he's a famous painter, right? He was going through pain. So with these 7 things I ran through, run the video back, watch it a couple times, and go through it, especially for my artists out there, because it's about to be a shift for content creators in general, especially artists. These AIs need references. Now, if you could be the reference, you can win, because that more people will see your version of the art through the AI. So
I don't want the original.
exactly. So
That's true.
that's the economy talk. It hit deep this time.
Very deep. Very good.
So,
Love that.
Yeah.
I got something to add on
Oh,
as
yeah,
far as
definitely.
the business part. Now I feel like to help out the artists, you guys should look at if you're looking to donate a couple of your pieces, and there's a lot of write-off situations you could do with that, as far as with getting your artwork appraised and insured. And now you go to a hotel or something like that, and you say, "Hey, you know what? I want to donate this to you." That's a write-off for you, as long as everything is
fact.
up to code and stuff like that.
Big jewels.
You gotta wait a year's time, of course, for the write-off. But
Yeah.
Still got it.
if
That's a good little gem right there.
That's a fact. And to add on to what No Face just said, if you do your research, it's revocable trust and an irrevocable trust. Do your research on those two, because as an artist, you can put some of your artwork into these different trust trust funds, and these different trust funds have different benefits and perks to it, The best thing about a trust fund is that the money or assets you put in there, whatever it grows, it's not taxed, So if you're really trying to save some money, get these trusts, and not just for art, you could put all types of things into trust. So thank you for that, No Face. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
So we're going to jump into this week's Would You Rather.
Would you rather?
So I got,
Oof.
so my first one is, would you rather your water be reduced to 12 hours a day or your electricity?
The water get reduced to 12 hours a day. I only have 12 hours a day to access water, or my electricity use get reduced.
I pick electricity. Give me 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. electricity.
Everything's getting charged. Everything's getting plugged in. Everything.
Yeah, for the next 12 hours, I'm good.
Cause I don't look like a hood baby, but I'm used to my power being out, so I'm just not having no electricity. Give me the water to wash my booty, please.
That's it. That's it. That's it. That's a fact.
Yeah. So that's my take.
Yeah, I probably.
Yeah.
You see the situation with the water, as far as like with the water. Well, what's those times where you went out and got real dirty, and then you gotta wait those 12 hours to wash? Like, y'all find with. Or your food getting spoiled because the fridge.
There's no electricity. Oh no!
It's only 12 hours, so.
Nah, still.
I'm kind of smart with how to like store food and everything. If you dig deep enough in the ground, you can put your stuff in the ground and it'll stay at a temp. So yeah, I would like to have my water access at all times.
Yeah.
You
can
can
do that.
control the power all you want.
And if you're smart, you could create like
Your
some little
own-
water wheel to generate some electricity
And while
off the grid.
water power. You don't play with me.
Interesting.
Very
Yeah.
interesting.
I'm picking my water.
All right.
No, I got asthma. I gotta drink water, man.
You said I got
Yeah, I gotta be hydrated all times of the day. And then it's like, especially them times at night. Nah, that's why I need the water the most. I'm gonna wake up, need my nebulizer, gotta drink some water. Now the water going.
I'm gonna breathe.
Yeah. First it's like, oh no, see, it's a double-edged sword because I need my nebulizer too. Nah.
Gotta have my nebby.
I need 24-hour electricity.
Access. Nah,
Take the water away from 12 a.m. to 12 p.m.
it's not fair for you.
Listen, at least I get to use my nebulizer. 'Cause I could drink water but still be wheezing.
You could put a bottle of water.
Yeah, I could do that. Facts. Before water go out, I got 10 water bottles ready. Night time come. It's like 30 days a night.
He's like, I got this. I have a good one actually. I just thought about it. A good would you rather. Would you rather get paid by the hour to create whatever it is, a new product, to get paid by the hour to do this? Or would you rather get paid partial credit and use artificial intelligence to create it for you?
What? You want me to get paid partial credit for using AI or getting paid fully per hour for making a new product from me? Now I'm picking that hourly. I could make a new product every hour from getting paid for it. What you need me to do?
You said it would be partially if the AI does it.
Yeah, and partially I'm thinking
I
like
didn't say how much.
Yeah.
How was the partial?
But
because the partial
partially-
could be more than the hourly pay, and you had somebody. You just had the computer help you to do it.
partially.
I feel like I would do the partial because the AI could move a lot quicker and think a lot quicker than I can.
Yeah,
So I could push out a lot more. Like she said, you don't know how much it is, but at the same time, my partial could outweigh your hourly because I could get X and Y done within an hour, and I'm getting.
I'm getting them payments.
Thank you, AI.
On the first project.
yeah, but it's a big if,
Yeah.
because you might have to
It all
do
depends on the person, but it's would you rather?
you might have to do 50 projects to hit my hourly because it's partial.
Yeah, but my AI is pumping them out. So
Yeah, but what if
I'm
it's
getting
low
250
quality
per
products?
project, and you still getting $25 an hour.
Yeah, for my high quality product that I put my love, sweat,
But
and
now
tears
my
in.
product is on the market.
But they
making
know.
making
But does the
residuals.
consumer know you made this with an AI?
Do the consumer know who?
No.
They don't know who made anything.
Oh, it don't matter. It don't matter. Nah, I'm sticking with my Ireland because I'm in my head. I'm be like, I'm just gonna make mad art stuff. Like, what you need to do? I'm making art, hat, shirt, pants, another artwork,
We got
shirt,
blankets,
pants,
we got curtains,
blanket,
we got wallpaper.
curtain, everything. How many need? 12. I'm gonna have 12 different
I have
products.
I have a base color paint set that can create this exact art.
Yeah, I mean, if you use
That's a good
Canva,
idea too, by the way.
if you use Canva, you could do that. When you're creating it, you
I
take the colors from existing stuff.
Yeah.
And take that to Sherman Williams, make a little paint scheme, and now these are the exact colors you need to create
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, just give me Canva
All right.
and I'm good. I'm picking my hourly effects. You feel me? My would you rather is, would you rather have your perfect person visually, but they not all there up there? You know, they kind of slow. They take an hour for them to comprehend something. Or would you like AI that knows exactly how you think? It talks just how you talk. You know, it's into everything you into. You know, whatever you think other people would think weird, they accept that for you and go into that deep convo with you. But they're not as physical, you know. Versus a physical person that's there, but they just there physically. That's the best they could do is be there physically, because mentally they not all there. Like bananas and pizza, literally that's their vocabulary.
Now, this is a person that
Is it teachable?
Yeah, you could teach the person that just take an hour for them to comprehend whatever you teaching them. Like they're not gonna get it in 10 minutes or a minute. You gotta actually work with them. Versus the AI, as soon as you talk to them, they could talk back to you about whatever.
Okay.
I'm feeling sad about this. Like, well, you should do this versus the real person.
Yeah,
I feel sad about this.
I
Well,
feel like with the real person would be more logical, because I feel like with the AI, like opposed to me like trying to just have like dialogue with a person about whatever situation is, the AI is gonna be like teaching me, like, you know, and like I don't really like that. Like far as like the AI is always going to be correcting me, even if it's like a opinion I got, like, oh, this is how I feel, and it was like, no, this is the real thing. And opposed to a real person, we might speak dialogue to a point where it's like, all right, we might disagree on it, but like in reality, I don't know. It just seems like the AI will always try to like
help you.
Yeah, well,
Not help.
because the way I view
over
it,
help me, I guess. Like,
yeah, that's how I view it. Like you, like, hey, how you doing today? It's like, hey, how you doing today?
I'm
Like,
actually doing okay.
like for example, like like if I ask the AI, hey, what's a good pizza or something, and they might give me all the gluten stuff and agree, like, hey, I wasn't looking for that.
Or it might
or it
tell
might-
you,
to
or
be more
according to
specific.
your body mass index, you don't need to be eating any pizza. You need to be eating a cantaloupe and a fruit.
Yeah.
Nobody
It's
asked you.
yeah, exactly. It'll be more judgmental on my life too as well. Like, well, why are you doing that? This is the correct way why you should be doing it.
Or it's gonna ask you like, what kind of pizza you like? Be more specific.
No, it's artificial intelligence. I feel I know what I literally felt the same way you did, because I would rather deal with the teachable dummy, because artificial intelligence is gonna irritate me, because you said it's gonna talk like you, act like you, respond like you,
Based off you.
based off you, and then it's gonna be learning me.
Yeah, to where it could be you better than you.
Yeah, no, see, that's
That's
exactly the
that's
point.
where we draw the line.
Yup, you can never be me. So.
Then it's like with saying that, like I'm picking my AI, but it's like, what if you can like buy, like, you know how like iRobot, you had your own robot, you could program it. Like, what if the Tesla bot, I could buy the Tesla bot, name him Tom or something, and he learned everything about me, but I could send him out as a representative of me. I just throw a skin sleeve on
Your
him.
AI is gonna want to get paid because now it's working for you, and
Oh,
you can't
nah.
afford to pay your AI.
I mean, if I can
because you're-
afford to get this top other line AI body sleeve.
Like I think of situations of
you
like
can afford to get the vessel.
Oh, no,
now
but see, the
AI is
AIs
learning that you can afford to pay him,
Listen,
and you're not.
they gonna create a whole separate currency just to pay the AIs and like AI coin or something.
And then the AIs will go on strike because they're going to learn that their owners actually can afford to pay them more than what they're getting.
No, but you're getting paid an AI coin. They have to create the economy and systems where AI coin can run. You have to create the buyers and sellers, all of that for y'all.
Yeah, shoot.
AI.
But the AI is going to learn through all of this that you're creating. It's learning stuff.
Yeah,
too.
to be self-sufficient.
And then it's not going to no longer need you.
I mean,
It just wants you to.
it never needed
benefit.
us to begin with. We need it.
We don't need.
We
AI.
need AI.
I feel like certain situations, like if I tell my son to do something, like, hey, get off the iPad, you've been on there for a while. I could see the AI coming. Well, due to him being on there for a couple hours, like he learned X, Y, and Z, and blah blah. Like, why are you
I'm trying to give you the
disrespecting my-
positive.
You know what,
disrespecting
AI?
my authority?
Do
Like,
dishes, AI.
yeah, do the dishes since you know everything. AI,
I'm like, well, due to my metal physique, I can't do dishes.
You're polyurethane, okay? Boom. You're PVC piping. Now get in that kitchen.
Then you don't want to get too smart and be like, if you're such a perfect being, why do you make
You see
messes?
why we don't need
Yeah.
artificial intelligence?
you can see me arguing with the AI. Like, all right, like,
Yeah, nah.
Sheesh, man.
It's gonna get. Oh my god, the Jetsons is upon us.
Yeah, I say that every day. It's coming closer and closer.
What was the robot's name?
I forgot her name.
But she was smart.
Yeah, she was.
You know, she like, you need help, little kid? All right, cool. She had just like open her stomach up. It had the gadgets and gizmos in there. She could turn into
Actually,
a car.
George had a lot of arguments with her.
Exactly.
Points where she was kicking him out the house, and he's rolling around and not agreeing with he said, but he's the authority of the house. But she see things fit.
You might have to go watch that.
Yeah, I got to do some
Yeah, we
research.
might have to
on-
watch the
on
Jetsons.
Y'all
Jetsons.
gotta
again.
watch the Jetsons in your free time to get a heads up what's happening in our future.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You already
Arguing with a robot, turn it off. Like, remember the Megan movie? They tried, like, Megan, deactivate. She's like, why? You don't want to have a convo with me? We're talking. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm respecting you. Why you want to turn me off? Because you don't like what I'm asking you? I thought this was about being human. When you made me, you wanted me to be human, right? I'm trying to.
I got one last one.
All right.
Would you rather 6 more hours in the day or 6 more months in the year?
6 more months in the year, or 6 more hours in the day.
I'll take 6 more months in the year. You know? Because I always feel sad when the year ends. You feel me? I'm like, I wish there was more time in this year, you know? Because, no, time is going by.
I would have traveled more and
Yeah, it's so much. It's not enough time. The time going by so fast since the year 2000, and it's crazy. I want more time. If I get 6 months in a year, but even with the concept of time, it just warped my mind thinking about it. Like, how do you just fit extra 6 months in? What do you call them?
I feel like, all right, so no, boom. They would literally just make the month. The months wouldn't be 30 days. They would literally probably make the months like 20 days apiece.
Or 15.
Yeah.
That's crazy. No, I don't want a 2-week month. I want a whole 30-day month, and I want 18 of those.
So we're gonna. I think I'm gonna add 6 more hours to every day, because
You want 30 hours a day?
yeah, I need that.
That's fire.
could get a lot more done.
In 30 hours?
Yo.
Hit snooze a couple more
those
times.
6 hours, I'm finna.
So would our time even work? Because now it's 30 hours. So 15 mark is the new 12 a.m. and
feel
12
like-
p.m.
I feel like
15
so
o'clock.
it's still boom. I'm a genius. I'm a freaking genius. So, you know how it's still dark at 12, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
The new day wouldn't start until about 5 a.m. when the sun's actually coming up.
Would that be 15 o'clock?
It's going to add an extra, 4 or 5 hours, something like that? Because normally the new day starts at midnight, the new
Yeah.
day.
So 12,
1,
13, 14, 15.
So 1, what's 3?
But you said
4.
so. No, yeah, we add in 6
So,
hours.
yeah, so it just
What
push-
the hell?
it just pushes the day up, so it starts in the daytime.
Oh,
Yeah. So
yeah, the day starts in the daytime. That's cool.
Now, what if I told you guys this? What if adding 6 more hours to, a day
Yeah.
is 6 more months?
Oh, nah. You just got just the way it's structured differently. Because
Yeah,
we
it
can
is,
either
it is.
use the extra time for the day or use the extra time to make extra months. But
Yeah.
either way, it's
But still, I think they should really just push out midnight and just say, you know what, 6 a.m. is when the day starts. You know what be going on between the hours of 12 and 5?
no. Nobody knows what's going on. It's a quiet
That's
zone.
a dead zone in life.
Especially like 3 a.m. They say it's the witching hour or
It is.
whatever.
It's a peaceful.
It could be
high
peaceful
energy
depending if you awake or you sleeping. Cause I've had plenty of experiences where I'm sleeping, I wake up and I can't breathe. Like somebody was trying to choke me or somebody was looking over me.
I'm not laughing at you.
I can't. You know, with asthma, you feel these things when you're sleeping, and most of my attacks happen around 3 o'clock. Like I'll look at the time, it's like 2:55 or 3:10. I'm like,
Your most vulnerable moment.
yeah, that motherfucker's coming to bother me. They coming to
You're
bother
falling into
me.
your REM sleep, and you're. I don't want to get too deep into it, but you know.
You know, listen, get that sage, y'all. Get the sage popping.
Yes.
You
See,
know,
Palo Santo.
Get my extra 6 months. I'm good.
My day starts at 6 a.m. So yeah.
That sounds crazy. When I said give my extra 6 months, I felt like I was like going to jail. Like, yeah, give me my 6 months. I'm out of here.
Bruh.
This was a fun.
I mean, we about to get into that depth.
So,
Deep with it.
so lifestyle in depth, we're gonna be getting into owning yourself, people. Owning yourself, because if you don't own yourself, somebody else does.
Facts.
So, our first one is talking about taking responsibility. That's number one. Now, you take responsibility for your actions and decisions without blaming the next person. So now you try to identify, what's really going on in that head, of you, and you want to take responsibility whatever decisions you make, whatever the outcome is. I'm having a speech impediment here.
I passed it to No Face.
But number two, we're talking about setting and achieving personal goals that align with your values and aspirations. Now that's part of, owning yourself. You want to make sure you're doing things the way that you want to. And then with number three, we want to talk about making sure your self-care is number one on the list and ensuring that it meets your physical and emotional and mental needs. So you want to make sure that whatever you're doing in life, you want to make sure that it aligns up with what you're doing in life. With number four, we want to talk about embracing your strengths and your weaknesses. This one is my favorite because we all, as humans, have our own flaws, but we also have strengths that are different from others. So use that to your advantage, and then look at some of your weaknesses and see where you can improve on them, every day. Number five, being true to yourself and not changing who you are to please others. That's one of the good ones, because sometimes we get into situations where, of course we're doing our own thing, but then we get around other people and we're seeing that, all right, they're moving a whole different way. And then it's up to you to be like, do I try to blend in or do I try to just give them who I am? Just be yourself, that's the best way to do it. And then with number six, you want to double down on your discipline because, it's easy to get distracted and forget where you're going to begin with, and that leads back up to, just being true to yourself. You just want to make sure you're disciplined and you staying true to your values because it's easy to get distracted.
That's a fact.
And to end this all far as with owning yourself, remember, owning yourself is a journey of self-discovery and growth. It's about taking control of your life and becoming the best version of yourself. And that's the best thing about owning yourself. You got full control on what you want to do in life, where you want to go. And sometimes we may not always lead. The journey don't always lead us to exactly where we want to go, but at least it leads you up to a place where you can at least figure out what's the next move. You
Exactly.
know, opposed to living a different lifestyle where it's just like I'm lost. I don't know what to do because I done dug the hole so deep.
Exactly.
You know, and that's lifestyle in depth. You know, with owning yourself.
I have a point I want to add to that. When you said about the responsibility part, you know, a lot of people got to understand that it starts off with you, with your thoughts in your head, you know. And a lot of times when we go to these jobs remind us exactly why we have our ambitions, you know, our motivations, why we want to go harder and do things. Because at the end of the day, some of your jobs is controlling. I've had controlling jobs where I get there, I gotta turn into robot mode because me as a person, it doesn't matter at all. I'm here to put in labor and work. I don't own my time right now. It's company's time, and if I do anything but work, what they say, you stealing company time.
True.
Oh, you on your phone, you're stealing company's time.
True.
Oh, you talking to your coworker about a non-related work, so you're stealing company time. And I don't want to feel that. Nobody likes feeling that way, especially like you ever been micromanaged at your job? Because it's not your time.
Yeah.
You feel me? You not owning yourself. So when it comes to what No Face said, really look back and think about it. And start off with the little things you can control. Because it starts with that. We be trying to control everything else that's not in our control. Then we get all worked up and fed up. Like, oh, my God. Like, hold on. Wait, I acted right in this situation. This person probably not stable. They probably had a bad day. Let me not personalize this, you know? So,
Personalize. Don't do that.
yeah, because it depends on how you react to certain things, you know? But own yourself. Because right now, your government owns you. And until you do the proper paperwork to be a sovereign citizen, you got to pay taxes because you're property. You know? So owning yourself is more than just that. Like, actually go and own yourself. Like, in the next 10 years, I want to own myself to where I don't have to pay taxes or car note or registration in this country because it's a corporation. Once you understand business terms, you able to move around differently. But when you stay into consumer mode and all that, you right where they want you.
True.
Also, y'all got anything to say?
You got did it to yourself.
Okay, yeah.
To close out with anything else?
Oh, I have a new segment. It's called Insight of the Day. You know, and it's just a little brief something in the economy. So recently we had Ripple Labs. They won their case against the SEC, Security Exchange Commissions, and their quote-unquote coin, XRP, is going to start being relisted on exchanges again. Now, if you don't know what XRP is, basically it's supposed to be the currency that replaces the system where countries and banks can move money to each other seamlessly, you know? So once they implement XRP, money could start moving faster and you could potentially make money. But like I always say, do your research. XRP, Ripple Labs.
True. So, you know, sometimes we might miss out 1 week on, you know, you did it to yourself because, you know, somebody didn't do nothing too crazy. But this week we got something crazy, you know, and it's straight to it. So we got a member of the police board of commissioners.
Oh, my God.
And he has resigned from the disgrace after he was caught with a prostitute in his car.
Oh, my God.
Bruh.
We talking about the board of commissioners, you know, basically like a police commissioner. And the funny thing is what he asked the officers who found him. He said, "Is there any way you can help me out in this situation?" Obviously not, you know, and his name was Brian Ferguson, who represented the District 1 for the DPBC and served as a former chair of Detroit's Police Oversight Board. So he announced his resignation on Thursday after, you know, the news broke and got all out. So he's pretty embarrassed, you know, embarrassing his family, just lost credibility on that. And he did it to himself, you know, like,
Yeah.
You had a prostitute in your car.
in your car, bro. You couldn't go home. You couldn't be off
Why do you
duty.
in your cars, man?
You could have been a regular civilian and did your thing at home or wherever. Maybe he had a wife and was cheating. I don't know.
Yeah.
Several hotels,
You're a police officer. You're held to a higher standard than regular citizens. And talking about, is there a way you can help me out? But a regular person in that situation can't say that.
Yeah.
Hey, can you help me out, officer? Like, you know what? I'm a good officer. I got a good heart. You know.
Well, he was a commissioner.
Yeah, and that's what makes it worse.
Yeah.
You are above. You help put other people in position to be sergeants and others, and you over here being corrupt. You didn't even want to hide it. That's one thing. They like, I'm doing bad. I don't want people to see it. But you was just chilling out in the open to the point where another officer felt like he had to come and check on what's going on.
Yeah. It's crazy out here. Well, he did it to himself, Brian Ferguson.
Brian Ferguson.
Brian Ferguson.
Mm-mm-mm. We need a sound effect.
Definitely need one. Insert sound effect here.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, it's been a cool, dope episode. Happy to be back here.
That's
you
a
know.
fact.
Yes.
It's July edition.
So I'm No Face Rel.
I'm Shoot the Artist,
You know me, Nezarine the Sea Moss Queen.
and this is the Nah Mean Show. Nah Mean.
Now mean.
Welcome everybody. It's your favorite abstract artist, Shoot the Artist, and today's piece is called Paradise Underneath. Because as you can see in the middle, we have the wonderful sunset, the beach. Everybody wants to go on vacation, right? But in order to get to this paradise, you gotta go underneath all the chaos, all the craziness. You feel me? And sometimes it's like a puzzle piece. You got to get stuff connected or in order to have a path to get to it. And that's just one path. You can see the different lines, which symbolizes the different ways you could get to paradise. But it all starts with you. Either way you go, you got to keep chipping through the craziness, the chaos, which is your life, family, all of that to get to your place, your paradise. Whether that's physical or mental, you got to get there. And if you want to get to the next level, you need a place where you can sit down and relax and zen out and meditate. So this is the paradise underneath,
Oh, a seashell sound.
Facts.